So, Free Guy,
Free Guy.
Brian? I appreciate you taking us all to the movies to go see this.
Yeah, yeah.
It was very nice of you.
That Italian at the end was a little weird choice by
I,
the writer,
Steph and
but
I were able to suss out what we think was happening there.
Yeah.
so my initial thoughts after watching it. So when I first heard about the movie, I thought this would be god awful, and then people like talked it up, and I think it was talked up too much to me because
Oh, you had a reverse. Oh
yeah,
shit,
my
that's funny.
expectations were too high, and I mean, it
You're
felt like
thinking
a
out of a
waste of an
thousand.
hour and 45 minutes to me. Not a lot of the jokes landed. I don't want to. Obviously, the movie theater we were watching it in must have had something going on because I think we saw it in 720p, um, and the sound was a little off. So I don't want to discount it too much,
Yeah,
but
it was a weird thing when some guy brought us into the back room and there was a Vizio with blown out speakers that they were playing the video on. I'm like, I guess this is the movie theater. We can watch this 720p version of this fucking movie on.
must have been the
Um,
hurricane. The wind blew the
yeah,
film
yeah, yeah.
around. The celluloid doesn't do well in wind.
It lowered the graphical fidelity of the film. I thought I thought it was fine. Like I agree that some of the jokes didn't hit, but I also think I thought some of them did. There were definitely a couple times where that sort of like that Deadpool Ryan Reynolds, which is just like his sort of meta character shit that he does now,
Yeah.
which I don't hate. Some people I've heard like they feel that it's long in the tooth now a little bit, and they're like, all right, pal, we get it. You're in on the joke, haha. But like, you can't do this for the next like 20 years kind of thing.
You can't
But
break
I agree.
every fourth wall.
Yeah, yeah. But I thought like it was very, decent summer blockbuster to me. Like it was not bad or like offensive in any way. Like it was totally a movie that like whatever if we hypothetically, did go see it all together, like it would be fine. Like,
Yeah,
getting
eat some
like if we were sitting
popcorn.
watching that movie at your place with like a few beers and hanging out, like it's fine. It's not great. It won't be remembered 5 years from now, but
We're
it's
not gonna
also
ever
not
watch
like
it again.
no, but yeah, but again, like if it's on TNT or fucking TBS or whatever, in 6 or 8 years, like I might throw it on and be like, hey, I forgot about this movie. It wasn't terrible, So yeah, uh, I appreciated some of the video game references. Again, some of them were a little like really
Yeah,
on the nose. Um,
yeah, a little bit. I
yeah,
just
but
to
cool.
piggyback off of that, I thought like a lot of the just video game terms in general like are done very poorly in most movies, and as a capital G gamer, I was happy to see
There wasn't some like
they
time to
nailed
hack
it.
bullshit where they're like
Yeah.
click, 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 like we only have 30 seconds, enhance. Like there wasn't some of that bullshit. But yeah, them making jokes about like, his skin and whatever. Like some of those I'm like, okay, huh? Like, I get it.
Yep.
I'm a video gamer, so I've collected
Capital
many
G.
skins in my life. Yeah. Gamers unite. Um, or whatever. I don't know. But yeah,
Gamer lives matter.
yeah. What are some hashtags that we can throw up?
Mar- Marty, before
What
me
about
and
you,
Aaron
Marty?
go off on a tangent, how are you feeling?
I can see where you guys now have your thought process because of like your gamer backgrounds, where I only play sports video games, so I barely have any of
Big
these gaming
big G.
backgrounds. I lie probably more towards Aaron, where I was like, I thought it was pretty decent movie, but I also went in with like the lowest expectations
Mm.
possible. Watching
I
the
had
trailer
medium
and thinking,
expectations.
I thought it was gonna be the worst thing ever. I was like, this is the worst trailer I've ever seen in my entire life. Entire life, never seen a worse trailer. And I watch it, I'm like, you know what?
God
I,
damn.
I actually thought it was kind of a
We just
funny
watched the
premise.
Eternals trailer, Marty.
The Eternal trailer wasn't the worst thing ever. I mean, but
So,
my God,
so you did like it, Marty, or
yeah,
at least again thought it was
I
like
enjoyed it.
decent. Yeah,
Enjoyed
I
it.
agree. It wasn't bad by any stretch. Like I don't think any of it was bad. I thought all like the acting was good. The special effects again, might have been a little
Who's to
more
say?
pixelated. Yeah. And yeah, I'm not sure so much how the movie concluded really, but either way, definitely, yeah, I like you said, decent summer blockbuster, but not, they're not going to win any Oscars later in the year for that one for sure.
So here's the plot for you guys. I want to make this one tight too. You know what heroes wear, Wes?
T-shirts,
Pants.
Sunglasses.
Oh yeah, that's right. The movie.
So we've got Guy, who is Ryan Reynolds. He's an NPC in a video game, a non-player character for you noobs out there. So Guy falls in love with some girl walking by him who's wearing sunglasses. So he decides he's not going to be an NPC anymore and take sunglasses from a real person.
I appreciate because like the whole game is it's a GTA clone.
Yeah, it's
basically,
GTA 5
but like
online.
to a T. Yeah,
Yep.
like exactly. Yeah, just basically GTA Online. But he sort of goes through his life a little like Squidward when he moves into the all squid community.
Yeah.
And he's just like on the aerobic bike and then buying his canned bread.
They have it canned bread.
Yeah, there's a little bit of that. Like his life is sort of like monotonous and the same thing over and over.
For sure. But he's like excited about it for most of it.
Yeah, yeah.
So he sees the girl, his buddy, who's the security guard at the bank he works at. It was like, oh, we don't talk to sunglass people. You just don't do it. I don't know. So he takes the sunglasses from the real player character while the bank is getting robbed, and to go talk to the girl.
I like how it cuts in the person like playing it is like they're like little kids. Like every time that they cut to like the people, it's like just random fucking
like,
it's like a 12-year-old girl. Yeah, that was funny.
Told you should have just killed him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So the game developers think it's just a hacker because it's dressed like an NPC. We get a little
Where'd he get his skin?
They got his skin.
So dewy.
We get a little backstory. The game company who made what's it called? Free City? Is that the game?
Yep.
Yeah. So Free City apparently stole some code from an indie development team. The two indie developers are like the main human characters, Keys and Millie. Is Keys like a nickname? It's got to be.
I think it's his last name.
Imagine so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. First name Magic. He's Magic Keys.
Yeah.
So Guy catches up with the lady character he's in love with, and he's too low level for her. So he's got to do something to level up, but he doesn't want to hurt innocent people, so he's going to play the good guy. He's going to do a pacifist run to level 100. So Guy goes viral on a bunch of Twitch streams for playing the good guy in basically GTA 5. Like everyone's like, what is this guy saving the cats?
This part for me, I'm like, why the fuck would this like be a thing that people care about like at all? And then suddenly I thought like, actually, if I saw a news story that an AI in GTA like became independent somehow and was like stopping crime, like the game physically came to life and was like battling against basically like the player characters, that'd probably be on fucking TV all over the place. So I'm like, oh, okay, I get it now. Like
the most iconic video game character is like Michael Vick or even if we're going Pablo Sanchez, like you can make those kind of things mainstream.
I'm gonna back up for a second. The most
Vick,
iconic video game character is Michael Vick.
Marty did say he plays mostly sports games.
Do you mean Mario?
Did Marty get super high already? He's like, yeah, because the most iconic video game.
We all know Bo Jackson from Tecmo Bowl is the most iconic video game character of all time.
Dude, how do you go Michael Vick?
He's talking like 2005 Madden Michael Vick.
That's serious. Video games have been around for a
Mario.
while.
Pikachu.
Michael Vick.
Yeah.
Master Chief. There were a lot of answers that could have come up.
Oh,
Did he
Honestly,
actually
if
lose
you
Marty? Is he
said-
just done? Is he off the pod
I
now?
think Marty just quit.
He did.
Marty just quit.
To his credit, he admitted that he only just a moment ago only plays sports games. So
True.
I
Okay.
give him credit for
Yeah.
talking Pablo
Um,
Sanchez and Tecmo
Tom
Bowl.
Brady. Tom Brady, maybe Michael Vick, the most iconic sports video. Not even just in general, sports
He's like
video game
Michael
character
Jordan.
is probably not Michael Vick.
All did play Madden
I would say, yeah.
like I did back in the day.
You're right,
Michael Vick
is
was the
nasty.
cheat code.
So when somebody was like, "Who's your favorite video game character?" You'd be like, "Oh, Michael Vick." They'd be like, "No, not your favorite football player." You're like, "Oh, I
He
get the
didn't
question."
say his favorite. That's the most iconic, Wes. Don't twist his words.
Those guys are iconic in sports games, though. You're not wrong, Marty.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Where the hell was I?
Yeah, okay, buddy.
So this movie, Free Guy.
Guy is going viral for being the good guy. Like there's some cameos from like some famous streamers, like Ninja's in there.
Fucking Pokimane and Jack,
Other
whatever.
people.
It's like Septic Guy or some shit. I don't know. It's literally
Yeah.
they're like, who are the five
Jimmy
most popular
Septic Guy
streamers?
is something like that.
Yeah, I forget.
I think Michael Vick did a cameo too, right?
Yeah, he's streaming on Twitch, but he wasn't streaming video games.
So we meet the head of Tsunami, which makes Free City, and it's Taika Waititi again. I think we're
Here he is again.
Rats. We're like 5 projects in a row that we've covered that he's been a part of. I feel like.
yeah, and
He's-
also
I think he's
Lil
just in
Lil
everything
Ray
now.
Howery as well. We're a Lil
Yeah,
Ray
that's
Howery
true.
and Taika Waititi podcast.
Exactly.
So apparently Free City 2 is buggy, but Antoine wants to capitalize on Guy being popular, and I guess they're gonna, I don't know, make him. I don't even know what his
They're gonna
plan
like
is.
make skins and
Make
stuff.
skins
Well,
for Guy, and yeah.
he didn't want to stop him at first, like stop it at first because it was drawing attention
Good
to the
press,
game. But once
yeah.
he started, leveling up and like fighting against sort of the intended like purpose of the game, and because the hype of him doing like all that leveling up and shit made the initial Free City more popular, and then like pre-orders for the second one or something were like dropping, or like people are canceling shit, and
Yeah, it was
stuff
hurting
like
Free
that.
City 2 in some sort of way.
Sure.
So Keys goes over to tell Millie, who actually controls the character that Guy is in love with, that Guy is one of their AI creations. So Taika Waititi stole the code for a game they were creating, where I guess you just watch AI learn things. Was their game?
Yeah, that game does sound like shit.
And that's what Taika Waititi told him. But anyway, they scrapped that project, and that's.
My theory is that Waititi is actually the hero. He's absolutely right the entire time. No.
So that game's the background or the backbone of Free City, and Millie has a lawsuit against Tsunami and wants to prove that her code's somewhere in the game. So she's going in there. Guy's helping her find that proof. Eventually, they realize that they're gonna completely get rid of Free City 1, and Guy's world is gonna disappear. So Millie has to tell him he's an NPC. And he's got a short existential crisis, but he goes to his buddy, who tells him, "Why does it matter if you're real or not?" And he's like, "I guess, sure."
Bro,
that's a
Lil
good point.
Ray with some like legitimate life advice. He's like, I'm here with my buddy right now. He's like, this is life. I'm like,
He's like, "So
oh,
wait,
shit."
I'm not real, but we're still talking."
Yeah.
Why does it matter?
I guess nothing's real, technically.
So in order to, like you said, Taika wants to stop Guy right now, so they shut down the servers. That works at first. Guy can't remember anything. But, bigfollows.com in the chat. Thank you. Maybe I will click
Do a
that
reset.
link. Yeah, they try to reset Guy. Guy can't remember anything. Then Millie kisses him again. Millie's fallen in love with him, by the way, if that's important.
Yeah, I think so, kind of.
Yeah,
It's relevant for like the end of the movie, I would say.
for sure. So Guy
Last 5
remembers.
minutes of Italian.
Yeah, once we hit the Italian, Guy
Well,
remembers.
They realize that that they're like exists as he is because of their AI like can learn, so he isn't just like, oh, he's become like independent of the
Westworld.
game, but he's literally the first like conscious AI ever created, which would be like a fucking touchstone like humankind achievement kind of thing. Like that would be a massively like world changing thing if and when it happens. So they definitely like downplayed that part a little bit, but I'm like, for the context of the movie,
And I
like,
definitely did.
not a big deal.
But yeah, they want to save it just because he's an AI. Taika Waititi wants to delete it because he likes money. So yeah, Guy realizes or rallies the NPCs. They're gonna build a bridge to the world that the
Doesn't
indie developers
exist.
made,
Yeah.
and it's beyond the boundaries of this current world. It gets a little weird here.
The plot, is a little off the rails at a point, but
we meet Dude, the jacked Ryan Reynolds. We get our little fun cameo. So Ryan Reynolds puts on the sunglasses, and he has like weapon options. And I guess they had like a partnership with Avengers or something. And he pulls out Captain America's shield and blocks Dude's punch. And Chris Evans is watching a stream, and he's like, "Oh,
yeah,
what
and he's
the
like,
fuck?"
"What the fuck?" Yeah, that was nice. I like that.
Yeah.
They busted out quite a few like video game references in that little fight.
Oh, the
They had
lightsaber. They pulls
they
up
had the lightsabers. They had the gravity gun. They had the
They have
portal,
the portal
gun. They were,
Yeah.
yeah,
They had then they have Michael Vick's football.
yeah. From Madden 2005. And Marty. That's the sound of Marty smashing his computer and leaving the stream. You know, all the great video game legends. See, I do wish, and I don't know again what Nintendo is like with their properties and stuff. I was super surprised when they busted out like not just the lightsaber, but the actual like Star Wars theme music as well. I'm like, to license that must have been an insane amount of money
For
because
sure.
they're not Disney, so you know whatever. But I was hoping that in like him interacting with like the health packs and some of the items that we get like a mushroom, like Mario mushroom moment where he gets like super buff from, you know, eating a mushroom or something. But there was no Nintendo stuff to be found that I could see.
And there's like a shit ton of like nods to Fortnite, like I guess with the licensing and the skins
And the unicorn
and the
fucking thing that he
Yeah, the
smashed.
unicorn hammer.
the unicorn hammer, the little glider him and Millie ride on.
Yeah. Totally.
Only there was a Morty hammer.
Pickle Rick hammer.
So Guy beats Dude by putting the glasses on him and I guess making him what's the word I'm looking for? Sentient?
Conscious?
Yeah, he basically like distracted him with all the like noises and sounds and lights of like the
look at all the
gaming
pretty
world
lights.
that he couldn't see before. Yeah.
So Guy makes it across the bridge and he proves that the world's real. But we still have to stop Antoine, who is destroying the servers. And real life Millie makes a deal with him. He can keep all the money. Free City 2. She just wants to keep the AI world alive. And Antoine's like,
Which was
well,
pretty
I
smart,
like
to
money.
be honest.
Good deal.
Yeah. It's like that's the worst trade
terrible.
deal in the
That's such
history of trade
That's
deals.
such an awful trade deal. That's even worse than trading Michael Vick for a pack of dogs.
In the epilogue is when our movie theater decided we need to brush up on our Italian. And so here's what I thought was going on. You guys could correct me if you think something else. They're running their NPC game. Millie hops in, guys like, I love you, but I'm not real. I realized my love's from Keys,
I love
the guy who
ice
made
cream.
me. You should go
Yeah.
love him.
Well, and I think too, and she was looking around in the source code and like found the video of him
Yeah.
explaining that, like, oh, you know how there was the whole bit of, you know, he had this character that couldn't find the right girl, and it was actually me that I based the character on, and
he's
you know,
like
I
got
fell
a
in love with
video
you
diary
because
or something.
yeah,
in the
exactly. It was
code.
very much like yeah.
All right, we're on the same page. End of movie.
Roll credits, happy ending. 200 million box office. It actually, it did decent at the box office, didn't it?
I think
It was like 20
better than
million or something.
Suicide Squad, maybe.
I don't think better than the first week, but I think the second week it did better because it came out the second week.
Because people saw it and they were like, you know what, it
100%
didn't suck.
Yeah,
That was
I
my
like movies that
mindset.
don't suck. There was one
for the price we paid. I didn't hate it.
Oh, their AI world. I think it's funny how they're kind of like shitting on GTA for most of this movie, and like one of the most watched GTA streams. I don't know if you're aware of this, Aaron, is the role playing GTA servers, like the RP stuff, where people just pretend to be normal citizens in GTA.
Like actual NPCs.
They're like, I'm gonna run a convenience store, and like you get booted out of it for playing real GTA.
Well, it's like I've heard similar. There's like hardcore, like flight simulator or like truck driver simulator servers where like you have to, like, for the truck driver ones, you have to use your radio to communicate. Yes, you have to piss in jars because you have to make fucking your deliveries on time. But they're literally like super strict servers. Yeah, exactly. Where like you have to like use your lights at night and you can't like speed on the roads, and like you have to use, like, if you use a road that like doesn't allow trucks on it, technically, like they'll boot you from the server for like going, like being any sort of thing that's not like, you know, real world shit, like following rules. Like you get in an accident and like they give you shit for fucking bumping into people and stuff. It's crazy.
So yeah, overall, I like I said, I think movies tend to be very bad at talking about video games, so I don't think there's anything egregious about this movie. I don't think it hit for me, the AI that became conscious and fell in love in GTA 5. Maybe it didn't speak to me at all. But
you can't relate to that in any way?
No. I'm going to say 695,000 out of 1,000,000.
It's not bad.
That's fair.
Yeah, I think like solid, like C plus B minus. I think it's like an 80, 79, 80 is like a fair, and for me,
sure,
it's right around there. Like, you know, if like gun to my head, I would watch it again, but I'm definitely not like running back.
Blow my brains out.
I
No,
like seriously pull the trigger.
If I had 2 bullets, no. I definitely, like I said, you know, typical summer blockbuster, like good, like popcorn movie. If we were, you know, fucking around and like drinking beers and hanging out, like this is a more than, you know, serviceable movie, but not like, you know, 2-3 years down the road, this is not going to be a movie that people are remembering.
No. There's probably not going to be a Free Guy 2.
No, and that's okay.
Yeah, of course. Not every movie needs a sequel.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I thought I'd give it a 70 out of 100. And you know, it would have got.
No, I was the most generous. Wow.
I didn't know Marty and I were so close in rating.
My ratings, I have a rating scale. You know, I think 70s or a 7 out of 10 is really good. It'd make me want to watch a movie if I saw a 7 out of 10 on IMDb. Like it goes to like a 50 where I'm like,
maybe I gotta explore the scale a little more.
I appreciate Marty doing the not, like when I think of like, I'm doing it in terms of like letter grades, which you're right, the scaling of that is so off. Like being, because you're right, being a 7 out of 10 in my mind, I'm like, hey, that's actually pretty good. Because like a 9 out of 10 movie, I'm like, oh shit, that's like that's a movie I gotta see.
I'm thinking a D. I'm thinking I'm hiding the report card from my parents.
Yeah, no. So I mean, yeah, I would say like 7.5 for me on
There's
that
like
kind
a
of
Michael Vick
refurbished scale.
appearance
It's definitely
away
not
from
an
Michael
8.
B.
All right. In Marty's scale that makes real sense, 5.8.